Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from eTimes TV.
Whatever she's saying, it's sad. She's doing this to promote herself because she just makes news out of nothing because she loves to be in the news and have no way to get out of this. A woman makes one phone call, the police won't even ask any questions. They will grab the man and put him in custody. Like I said, a man, whatever he says, it doesn't even matter.
Imagine that you are called in the show at some point. Will you go?
Well, the TRPs are gonna go skyrocketing if I'm called. You know that as well. We're still both madly in love with each other. That's why we bitch about each other. Nice to see you, Vicky.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for joining me on eTimes TV.
Yes, I've spoken to you before and I've always respected you. You're very honest and fair. So I'm happy to talk to you. I haven't spoken to anybody till now about over the last 4 years, whatever's happened to me. I've never spoken to anybody about what's happening with me, and this is the first time I'm speaking out.
Well, first of all, I would like to tell the viewers this interview is really important according to me because your wife, Poonam Pandey, has spoken a lot before going to the Lock Up show, saying quite emphatically that she has been in an abusive relationship and talking about domestic violence and the fact that she'll be talking about it, about her other relationships, about her marriage, etc. in the show, which makes me feel that you should also talk and put your perspective across.
Not worried at all. My marriage has been beautiful. And I remember only those things about my marriage. Sometimes 90% is perfect, 10% is not good. And of course, everybody wants to focus on what's not perfect. So I don't put much faith in that because things have been good for us. Now, whatever she's saying, it's sad. And she's doing this to promote herself. And Poonam Pandey is my wife. I took the Saath Feras very seriously. And I'll keep repeating that. She just makes news out of nothing because she loves to be in the news.
Well, I would like to ask you then, if you're saying that she is doing it to promote herself, she already spoke about the domestic violence much earlier. I mean, when you all parted ways, there were reports that उनके साथ domestic violence हुआ था.
Vicky, let me ask you, what is domestic violence? What is it all? Is it physical? Is it verbal? Is it emotional? Is it psychological? Is it mental? There are too many things. Now, let me explain something to you. There are millions of men suffering from this, where there is an assault. An assault is not only physical, because verbal assault or psychological assault, emotional and mental assault are far greater. And men have no way to get out of this. A woman makes one phone call, the police won't even ask any questions. They will grab the man and put him in custody. But I have to go to the cops 20 times and they'll do nothing about it. There is no luxury of what women have today. They could just make a phone call and a man is in police custody. Men have no luxury of that. So now what else there is to say? True, false, whatever.
Are you telling me that she made that phone call झूठ बोलकर कि भाई मेरे साथ डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस हुआ है और उसकी बात पर विश्वास किया गया? Is that what you're saying?
Vicky, all right, let me break this down to you. On my honeymoon, she put a molestation charge on me. Okay? After a night of argument, next morning, the cops come and grab me, and I have a molestation charge on me. I have a sex assault charge on me. This is on our honeymoon. This is within a week that we're married. The cops take me and then an FIR is drawn up. And then a few days later, she calls me back and she's like, I had no idea what molestation means. It's a very big word and I had no idea what it means. On your honeymoon, how can you be charged of molestation is beyond and beneath me to even figure it out. But she put that charge on me. Then she took it back because we had an argument. Like I said, a man, whatever he says, it doesn't even matter. So here's the dilemma. It's what
So
I'm dealing with.
you went back to her? The moment
I'm sorry?
you went back to her.
I never left her, so it's not about me going back to her. Listen, this is a love story that's never gonna end. And I'll keep coming back to this. And forgiveness is a part of it. Being non-judgmental, being forgiving is a part of it. And so yes, we got back together. What I read in media is that she forgave me. Perhaps so. but the media doesn't say that I forgave her also. So it's always one-sided. It's really, I mean, this is trial by media. And I haven't spoken to anybody. There are many journalists who've called me and who wanted to talk to me, and the only reason I'm talking to you right now, Vicky, is because it's sad that she's using our personal life, our private life, to promote her part in a show. And that's what bothers me. Because otherwise I would never talk about this. But if you're going to use a platform and berate, whatever your personal life is about and whatever. So I have to do that too.
Imagine that you are called in the show at some point, be it a wild card entry or whatever. Will you go?
Well, the TRPs are gonna go skyrocketing if I'm called. You know that as well. Would I go? I prefer being behind the camera, but in this case, yes, definitely I'll go.
Before we go further, Sam, आजकल आप क्या कर रहे हैं? How is work and what are you exactly working on?
All right. So here's what the plan was in February. We were supposed to move to LA, Poonam and I. February is gone already. So my LA plan is taken kind of a back seat. It might be next month now that I might be moving there. But I'm working on a web series for India and for international Netflix. So I'm doing those two things, and that's where my head's at right now. I'm on location where I'm going to be shooting one of my web series. So you can see that. And besides that, I'm hoping and willing and wishing that she does well in her show. You see, I always have her best interest in my heart. Now, how well she will do, she's very tenacious. My wife is the most dedicated, the most tenacious person. She's also very lazy, but she's tenacious. So she can win this. And I'm hoping that she does that. But if there's any problem, I hope they call me to go there and join her so I can help her with this.
So you said that you all got back together, but eventually again parted ways. You are not together now. So
Yeah.
उसके बाद क्या हुआ? What happened after that that eventually led to the separation?
Vicky, I have to explain something. Assault comes in many different forms. It can be physical, verbal, mental, psychological, emotional. Now, there are millions of men suffering from this, and at some point, a man will snap. Now, there is no recourse for a man. For a woman, she makes a phone call. The cops will come and get you. But for a man, like I said, you have to go to the police station 20 times before they take you seriously. So, between us, whatever happened, I wasn't the one to initiate it. But then, this is he said, she said. So let's not even get into that.
So if I'm not wrong in reading you in the previous answer, you are saying that after you all patched up, you were in an abusive relationship, in fact. And the abuse can be in various forms, as you already said that.
Okay. I want to touch back on that. I have been abused throughout my relationship. But now, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you one thing. That's 10% of my relationship. 90% of my relationship, she bombed me with love. Every single day, she bombed me with love. And I can't deny that. I've never felt that loved ever in my life. So, to say that I was in an abusive relationship, and a lot of guys have and whatever, I disregard that because that is focusing on the negative. If I focus on the positive.
Yes, you disregard that, but I read it correctly, right? That was your
You did, Vicky, you did. And it was a beautiful relationship, and that's never gonna end. We're bothly madly in love with each other, and we both disregard that. You see, that's the problem. Right now, she's madly in love with me, but she'll disregard it. I'm madly in love with her, I'll disregard it because I don't care, because of whatever she's done. But eventually, we always get back together.
So are you telling me that the doors are open for yet another patch up?
Vicky, she's my wife. I have taken the Sat Feras very seriously. Maybe she hasn't, but I have. So, this minute, this month, this year, this decade, this century, whenever she comes back, my heart is always open.
Will you try to call her and say, okay, let's get back?
No, we both have too much of an ego, and there's one problem. Vicky, there's one problem. My wife has all the qualities except loyalty. So until and unless I get that, then there's a lot to discuss.
It's a very big word that you're using here, loyalty.
I know. But in a marriage, I mean, Loyalty is not a big word, Vicky. Loyalty is the basis of any relationship. So without loyalty, there's no trust, there's no honesty, and then there's just failure. So I don't know how that is a big word, but well, that's honestly, good guys don't make it. You have to be a bad boy. And that's how you survive. Because, has she ever complained about me cheating? Has she ever complained about me cheating with anybody? And Vicky, I'll tell you, I've had, and we have all the time in the world, by the way, I've had multiple relationships before I met Poonam with celebrities bigger than Poonam. Have I ever been accused of assault? How come I've never been accused of assault? Never, ever. And Poonam has accused, on the other hand, other men of assault. So there's a pattern here. And we have to recognize that pattern, that I've never been accused of assault. She's accused people of assault. And this is what the police are saying. I had no idea about this. And one of your questions were that she might go to the show and she might say something about me. I've never cared about what people say about me. I married Poonam Pandey because she told me that the kind of avatar that she's created for herself, nobody's gonna marry her. And it was like a no-brainer for me. We're still both madly in love with each other. That's why we bitch about each other. Why does she still talk about me to promote a show? She's talking about me because she wants me to know that she's thinking about me. Why otherwise would she even bother to talk about me? She's my wife. We're not divorced yet. We're just separated. She's my wife.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much for joining me on eTimes TV. As I said, it was very important for us to get your perspective. However, it is always said that there are three sides to a story. One, the side that A tells you, the other, the side that B tells you. There's a third side which neither of the two tells you.
There's the fourth side, which is the actual truth.